This is Daily Armenia, ＳիվiլNeթ's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. At the Antalya Diplomacy Forum held in Turkey over the weekend, Armenian Foreign Minister Ararat Mirzoyan spoke with a mix of hope and realism about normalizing relations with Turkey and signing a treaty with Azerbaijan. Though linked, Mirzoyan stressed these tracks should not be treated as inseparable. However difficult, dialogue is the only way forward, he said at the forum in a sit-down interview with ＳivilNeթ. Mirzoyan outlined the scope of ongoing Armenian-Turkish engagement, saying cooperation could expand well beyond diplomacy to include trade, transit, and energy. But a crucial step, the opening of the land border, remains unfulfilled. Turkey has delayed implementing this measure for nearly 3 years. Turkish Special Envoy Serdar Kilic exclusively told ＳivilNeթ that both sides are doing their utmost to accelerate the normalization process, though he offered no timeline for opening the border. Many observers believe Ankara is stalling due to pressure from Baku. However, in a notable remark, Kilic said that the demand for Armenia to change its constitution is a domestic issue for Armenians to decide on their own terms. Azerbaijan refuses to consider signing the treaty until Armenia does so, a process which might take years, claiming the constitution has territorial claims on Azerbaijani territory, which Armenia strongly denies. On the sidelines of the forum, Mirzoyan met with Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan to discuss the path forward, though no details were made public. Mirzoyan did make clear that Armenia-Turkey normalization should not be held hostage to progress in Armenia-Azerbaijan talks. On the contrary, he argued that improved Armenian-Turkish ties could help stabilize the broader region. On Saturday, Mirzoyan met face-to-face with Azerbaijani Foreign Minister Ceyhun Bayramov, their first meeting since the two sides announced last month that they had finalized the draft text of a treaty. The ministers also appeared on a panel together, during which Bayramov pushed back on suggestions Baku not miss the current moment to speedily sign the treaty with Yerevan. Mirzoyan added that Yerevan continues to submit new proposals, including one offering Azerbaijan transit through Mehri to its Nakhichevan exclave under full Armenian sovereignty using modern customs and border mechanisms to expedite the process. However, he said Baku has failed to respond. Meanwhile, tensions continue to simmer on the ground. Azerbaijan has accused Armenia almost daily of ceasefire violations, charges Yerevan denies. Armenia says it remains open to establishing a joint investigative mechanism to look into such claims, but Azerbaijan does not engage. Today, the Armenian Ministry of Defense released photos showing a bullet hole in Khanadzakh village's cultural center, near the border in the southern Sunik region, the second reported strike on Armenia's civilian infrastructure in recent weeks. The NGOs Path of Law and the Committee for the Defense of the Fundamental Rights of the People of Artsakh have submitted a request to Armenia's foreign ministry that it delegate consular protection of Armenian detainees in Baku to Switzerland. Human rights lawyer Siranush Sahakyan confirmed the request and said the ministry is still reviewing the idea and potential third countries. The request gained urgency last month after Azerbaijan suspended the International Committee of the Red Cross's operations. The ICRC had been the only organization with access to Armenian detainees and was a vital link to their families. Sahakyan said the issue had been discussed privately before, but the ICRC's withdrawal forced the matter into the open. She warned that the loss of those services could have irreversible consequences for the detainees, and noted that consular protection also includes ensuring fair trial rights, monitoring detention conditions, and addressing medical concerns. Under international law, a neutral third country can take on consular responsibilities with the consent of both states. Switzerland was proposed because of its neutral position, and a recent resolution by its parliament supporting dialogue between displaced Artsakh Armenians and Azerbaijanis. Following Azerbaijan's September 2023 offensive and the forced displacement of the Armenian population of Nagorno-Karabakh, Baku detained several high-ranking officials of the former Artsakh Republic. Azerbaijan has acknowledged holding 23 Armenian prisoners, including high-ranking officials. Have you seen the latest episode of Insights yet? In it, Eric Hakopian explores the global energy market downturn triggered by the Trump administration's tariffs and the potential impact on Armenia and the region. He also covers the wave of protests across Turkey and what it reveals about the deep challenges facing Turkish society. You can find the link to it in this video's description. And finally, the ＳիվիլՆեթ number of the day is 4. That's because Armenian wrestler Malkhas Amoyan has claimed his 4th European Championship title at the finals held in Bratislava, Slovakia on Saturday. He scored a 3-1 victory against an opponent from Georgia to win the gold in the 77-kilogram weight class. Amoyan, who is ethnically Yazidi, also won a bronze medal for Armenia last year at the Paris Olympics. Unfortunately, his teammate Artur Alexanian had to pull out of the bronze medal match of the 97-kilogram weight class due to an injury, and so automatically came in 5th. And as always, keep following ＳiviLNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.